indicated in press briefings before, one of the requirements in moving forward with the grant from the Trust Fund for the airport was a corporate governance review or assessment that it would be done and the findings will be implemented. This review or assessment has been completed, and with the approval of all stakeholders, I hereby give a summary of the agreements made during a meeting between representatives of the government of St. Martin, representatives of the government of the Netherlands on the 27th of March 2019 in New York. The agreements are as follows, and I quote, "An interim CFO will be appointed by the PGIAE, which is the operations, for a period of 2 years through the Royal Schiphol Group. Simultaneously, PGIAE will start searching for and hire a permanent CFO in accordance with the established procedures under the Articles of Incorporation of the PGIAH, so the holding, and PGIAE operations, and in accordance with the reviewed profielschets." I will further elaborate on point 4. "The selected candidate for the permanent CFO position will serve as a local counterpart to the interim CFO and will take over his or her responsibilities after 2 years. The appointment of the interim CFO will have to take place in accordance with the Articles of Incorporation of the PGIAH and the PGIAHE and will have to be screened. Legal counsel to the airport and legal counsel to the government will advise on the government expedient way to appoint the interim CFO in accordance with the Articles of Incorporation. The remuneration of the interim CFO will be in accordance with the regular salary norms of the airport, and the cost of remuneration will have to be paid by the airport. Before April 24th, the candidate for interim CFO should be in the screening process. Secondly, the security screening of all members of the supervisory and management boards of the holding, so PGIAH, and operations, PGIE, should start. This will be done by VDSM. Before April 24th, PGIAH and PGIAE will formally request the Minister of General Affairs to initiate a screening process by VDSM. Based on this formal request, the Minister of General Affairs will request VDSM to initiate the screening process. Legal counsel to the airport and legal counsel to the government will advise on the approval of the screening by individual board members and the steps that need to be taken in case an individual does not pass the screening. Thirdly, the Council of Ministers will appoint a task force and adopt a high-level implementation plan on the corporate governance assessment conducted by the World Bank before April 24th. The terms of reference for the task force and the high-level implementation plan is being prepared by the National Recovery Program Bureau and will be shared simultaneously with the Council of Ministers and the Netherlands for feedback prior to the approval of the Council of Ministers. The task force will also be instructed to review the expenditures and remuneration of the PGIAH, so the holding. The NRPB, so the National Recovery Program Bureau, will propose that the task force will be financed by the Trust Fund, possibly through the Emergency Recovery Project 1. The Netherlands note that it does not have a position on the preferred legal structure of the airport. This is up to the government of St. Martin. Fourthly, the terms of reference for members of the Supervisory and Management Board of the Holding and Operations, so PGIAH and PGIAE, should be reviewed and upgraded to international standards by the Royal Schiphol Group and or the World Bank and or an external recruitment agency. The airport will submit the existing terms of reference to the National Recovery Program Bureau, and the National Recovery Program Bureau will request Schiphol to review and upgrade the terms of reference before April 24th. And fifthly, the Netherlands will provide a candidate for a new member to the Supervisory Board of the Holding, PGIAH. This candidate will require the approval of the Council of Ministers and has to be screened and appointed in accordance with the applicable rules and procedures. Remuneration will be the same as for other members of the Supervisory Board. The Netherlands will inform the candidate of the standard remuneration. If PJAH, so the holdings remuneration constitutes an issue for the candidate, the Netherlands can discuss additional measures with the candidate. Before April 24th, the appointment process will have to be initiated, unquote. I hope this clarifies the unsubstantiated rumors about the airport being sold out to the Netherlands and that they are taken over. This information is accurate, and I quote it from it, so please take this information and run with it.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
On Monday, April 8, Mrs. Peggy Andros Richardson, President of the Supervisory Board of Directors for the National Institute of Professional Advancements, better known as NEPA, and I, representing the House of Detention, signed an MOU with the purpose of the Ministry of Justice utilizing NEPA's expertise in technical vocational education and training to ensure that those in our system are offered the best possible rehabilitative options through education and for personal advancement. It is our intention to repair the Hurricane Irma and Maria damaged chapel, the work and training stations, storage room, and generator room with the help of our inmates. They will become certified in the different areas of construction, such as carpentry, roofing, electrical installation, plumbing, masonry, and general property maintenance, and be paid as well. This is a win-win situation for all involved. As we continue to make the much-needed improvements within the justice chain, our aim is to build better individuals and prepare them for the real world, the professional world, where they will have the newly obtained skills to improve their lives and our community. Given government's liquidity challenge, I have met with representatives of Koiman and ACE to assist us with this endeavor. We will be setting up accounts for anyone or any company willing to donate to this worthy cause. We will need building materials, equipment, and appliances in order for this to be a success. Through public-private partnerships, we can achieve more together. My final report is, during the month of May, the Ministry of Romy, in collaboration with the police department, will start clearing of all car wrecks. I guess the question will be, what exactly is a car wreck? So, according to the waste ordinance, a car wreck is legally considered a motor vehicle on more than two wheels being in a technically insufficient state of maintenance and seemingly in an abandoned state. These works will be carried out in phases and will start with phase 1, which entails the following. All owners of car wrecks that are on private property can call the Ministry of Romy to have it removed free of charge. Once the owner can prove they own the car wreck and sign a waiver not to hold government accountable for any damages, the wreck will be removed. The police department and the Ministry of Romy will continue removing the car wrecks located on public property. More detailed information and public announcements will be coming in the next few days and weeks.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you for?
Department has female officers, and obviously there are 2 female officers on St. Martin in the fire department. First of all, for the record, your name.
My name is Maricela Gomez.
What does it mean for you as a female to be a fire officer?
Well, holding the title as a female officer means a lot to me because you have people that look up to you, and you always want to walk the right path and admire your admirers out there, but it comes with a lot of work with this territory, and you have to be able to prove yourself. So for me, it's a blessing in disguise.
You're one of 2 female officers.
Yes, I am.
Many girls or ladies, I should say, tend to become police officers. Why the path of fire officer?
Well, one day at my previous job, I was sitting down and I started to get a little bored. So going through the newspaper clippings, I saw the vacancy for firefighters. So I called a friend of mine and I asked him, hey, tell me something, you all have any women working with all you? And he's like, no. So I was like, okay, no problem. So he's like, why? I said, oh, nothing, don't bother. But growing up also, I grew up around men, boys. I was a tomboy. So being around females, I didn't really have much of a, smack to be around females. So seeing that men was in the fire department, I was like, hey, I think I should try this, and that's what I did.
Seeing the fact that the fire department comprises of mostly men, it is a males-dominated job. How do you feel being part of this organization overall?
Well, being part of it is, sometimes it has its good days and its bad days because, I don't really like competition, and sometimes I feel like I'm in a competition, but then I just say to myself, hey, you're here to do a job and do it to the best of your ability. And, the guys are always there to help you, so because how we work is in teams. No one person ever does anything on their own. So with that support, it boosts you to continue doing and continue going. So most of the days, there's no really bad day, only good days.
Interestingly, you spoke of not liking competitions. Elaborate a bit more on that.
Because men have this ego, always competitive. A woman now, she just does what she has to do to the best of her ability, even though sometimes she sometimes want to put her best foot forward. But when you look around and you see yourself amongst guys, sometimes you could outwin them, and sometimes it's like, hey, don't even try it. So, when it comes to strength and stuff, sometimes as a woman, you're like, sometimes, boy, there's certain stuff I can do and certain stuff I can't do, but still you don't really one time show, hey, I can't do that. You still try and, you succeed, yes.
What's your rank as a female fire officer?
Well, I'm a two-striper, a Pombadina chauffeur, so driver of the trucks right now.
You're a driver?
Yeah, yes I am.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I drive.
But how far do you want to take your career as a fire officer, female fire officer?
Well, I see myself taking over Mr. Clive Richardson as chief. God permits. Hopefully, I'll be just that.
And you're working towards achieving this goal?
Yes, I am.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Stephanie Medina, and I play football with the Walichi Women's Soccer team. I have represented St. Martin in many different games. For example, the Dutch Caribbean Women's Soccer Cup. I played against Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao right here in this stadium. Sports matter to me because it makes me happy, it keeps me fit and healthy, and it is very fun. So I asked the business community to take on this challenge and help us rebuild our facilities. And I also asked the community to nominate the local businesses in your area and take on the challenge and step up for sport. Why? Because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sport Facebook page for more information. Hashtag sports matter, hashtag are you in?
I would like to start with the economy of Curacao. recently, the Business Association, VVC, has mentioned the IMF and some of its conclusions on the island, especially about the economy. And they specifically mentioned red tape, that it's causing a problem for the economy. Can you give us your opinion on that?
Sure, it's a challenge, and certainly in these times that we have, let's say, a bit of a stalemate with regards to economic growth. We do have potential, and we can talk about that. We have growth in one sector, which is tourism, but the government has to be more responsive and more facilitating. So in a way, it's changing procedures and processes, let's say automation and so on, and we have a committee that is presided by someone from the private sector working on this. We already made some changes. For example, we have a central point of contact, let's say one window, working with the back office for all economic permits. So we centralized it in one location, and you have one stop shop with regards to the intake and also where the permit is eventually given.
So you're just saying that the government is already working on it?
Yes, but we're going further because, of course, transformation of business processes, etc., within the government will take time because we do have to eliminate some procedures, and some of it might require change of law. We need to integrate the processes better in the back office so that the investor doesn't have to go to each ministry separately, but can go to one location and have the process being done in an integrated fashion without the involvement of the investor, and they can follow the process online. There is where we want to go. It will be like a self-service, and they can see how the petition is going through the stages online. But in the meantime, we need growth. So what we did is that we have an investment team consisting of different disciplines, and they report also to subcommittee of the Council of Ministers. The most relevant, my person is chairing it together with Minister of Finance, Minister of Urban Planning, Minister of Economic Development, so that where needed we can make the decisions or give feedback so that the process can be quicker, and this has yielded results. We have seen it with different projects, for example, in the hotel sector, the Corendon hotel, which is now being constructed. We also have some other hotels in the pipeline, Marriott Courtyard, a development at Kop van Scharlo here in the harbor, which we get, let's say, regular briefings, and where necessary, we need to take the decisions so it can move faster along. So that has been working, but now we have to make it a more permanent, sustainable process.
So basically you say that we can be hopeful, the economy and the process for investors?
Most certainly, most certainly. And we are hopeful because we already see the results with regards to the hospitality sector, hotels and so on. We now see more construction also with regards to residence, projects, houses, for different groups, even, for example, people that are with pension. We have a graying society, but there's also a demand for tourists that want to enjoy in a bungalow and so on. So we have those projects, but also in the logistics sector, we have CPA working with Port of Rotterdam to develop Bullenbaai, which is rather greenfield. We have an oil terminal there, but it's a government property that is destined for industrial development, and now we're working. We have a vision document. We're working now on a master plan together with Port of Rotterdam to not only develop, but bring in the business. The refinery is the biggest one on the block.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the refinery. Yes.
That one, of course. Our pathway is, first of all, make sure there is continuity, because it's more or less 10% of our economy. It's 3,000 to 4,000 employees that are dependent on the refinery directly and indirectly. So it affects more or less 12,000 families.
Yes,
in that respect, we need to find a solution for the continuity, and we have a team working on that actually was contacted by, let's say, there's interest along 50 plus companies, and next week they are starting the first round of conversations, and there are some interesting candidates in there. Probably what we will need is a short-term and longer-term solution. It can be both. But in any case, we are encouraged that there's interest, and certainly because we don't only have the refinery, which is able to produce between 200 and 300 barrels a day, but also different kind of products, but in combination with the storage capacity and the oil terminal. So that is what Curacao has able to offer, and I can say that some of the conversations that I entertained, this is what makes it interesting, because we don't only have the refining capacity, but also the storage and the redistribution capacity for the Caribbean region. So we are encouraged by the team. They're working aggressively, and hopefully by mid this year, we have a partner which we will engage in more thorough negotiations.
But the time is short. I mean, it's by the end of this year that the contract with PDVSA expires. Do you think we're going to make it?
Well, the time is very short. I think we can make it. It's a realistic planning, but we do need to engage with a serious candidate within the next few months. What makes it challenging is the situation with PDVSA itself. As we know, it has affected our refinery in the sense that the financial obligations that are not being met, sanctions, but also liens that are put by creditors has affected production. So last year we haven't seen much production in the refinery, and that has a ripple effect for, let's say, harbor activities. Yes. With almost no movement of ships coming in. Nevertheless, we're working with the current management of the refinery to see how we can cope in between now until we have a short-term solution.